Our group chose to do option 7. What are the reasons for our current opioid epidemic, and what are the statistics? The opioid crisis is an issue that affects millions of people in the United States. This crisis has impacted all kinds of people, regardless of their race or economic status. In this presentation, we will break down the opioid crisis, the people it affects, and how accessible opioids really are. The opioid crisis is a term that refers to the widespread abuse of opioids in the U.S. The opioid crisis began in the late 1990s when prescription opioids became widely accessible. Opioids fall into the category of drugs prescribed with the purpose of pain relief. Opioids can be doctor-prescribed drugs like oxycodone or illegal drugs like heroin.
The opioid crisis affects people from all backgrounds. However, certain populations are more heavily impacted. For example, studies have shown that people who live in poverty are more likely to experience chronic pain and receive opioid prescriptions than those who are more wealthy. We can conclude this is due to a lack of access of health care, such as physical therapy or other non-opioid pain medications. Additionally, the person's race plays a significant role in the opioid crisis. Black Americans are less likely to receive an opioid prescription for pain relief than a white American is, even under similar levels of pain. This can be attributed to a racist stereotype about Black people being more susceptible to drug abuse.
Opioids have become incredibly accessible in the United States, with 153 million opioid prescriptions in 2019 alone. That's enough for every adult in the U.S. to have one bottle of opioids accessible to them. And illegal opioids are also very accessible on the black market, which makes heroin such a popular drug of choice. As a result of all this accessibility, the death of opioid overdose has skyrocketed, with 29,000 deaths in 2020 alone, and this increase from previous years can be seen from the increasing availability of new synthetic opioids like fentanyl.
In conclusion, the opioid crisis is a big issue in the United States that affects people from all backgrounds. It is important to understand the reasons behind this crisis to further find a solution. We must work to increase access to other non-addictive types of pain relief, address hidden racial stereotypes pertaining drug use, and reduce the high accessibility of opioids.
106,000 people in the U.S. died from drug-involved overdoses in 2021 alone.
72% of preventable opioid deaths occur between the ages 25 and 54. White Americans hold the highest percentage of opioid use in America. The overproduction of opioids and the accessibility of opioids are two reasons for the increase of opioid deaths and the opioid epidemic.